Hello, found footage fans, and welcome to We Found a Tape. We're a podcast dedicated to all things found footage. Shaky cams, paranormal sightings, and everything with an authentic edge to make it all feel real. My name's John,
And I'm David.
and join us as we hit play and uncover what lies beyond the tape. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of We Found a Tape. It's been a while. It's been a few weeks since we've posted an episode. The last was August Underground at the end of August. So if you haven't already checked that out, then go and check it out right now because it's fucking awesome.
Go check it out. Yeah.
We have been having some adventures, I guess we could say, David.
It was an adventure.
Yeah, we went on an adventure. I drove down to Virginia, and we hung out there for a couple of days, and then we flew out to New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, and we met David there. We hung out. We had a lot of fun.
That was a lot of walking, man. It was a lot of goddamn walking. And then I'm not even going to go into the drive part, but it was nice as you got closer to Louisiana, or actually when you got into Louisiana and closer to New Orleans, you were able to see all the swamp, the water, all that stuff on the way in. So it's pretty cool to see.
Nice, yeah. And we did absolutely zero podcast work while we were there. We just shut off from regular work and podcasting work. We went with good intentions. David brought his microphone, and we had full intentions to, do something. But you know what? We thought, let's just live in the moment and experience New Orleans and all its vacation. We're on vacation, exactly, David. So we had a vacation. It was fun. We did a lot of stuff. So this week's episode, we're not really going to be talking about any found footage films in particular or any reviews. We're just gonna hang back. We asked on Instagram for a couple of days to get some questions, and we got a bunch of questions, so thank you so much for that. Thank you for taking the time to send us your questions, and that'll be part of today's episode as well. In said travels, we acquired some very cool found footage physical media that I wanted to show off, and also just talk about our recent trip because it was a lot of fun. So stay tuned and get a beverage and hang back and listen to your old pals John and David.
Yeah.
What'd you say first, David? Do you want to show off a movie? Do you want to take a question? Do you want to tell a story?
Let's go ahead and talk about the Museum of Death first.
Okay.
That was a nice, interesting trip. Didn't know what to expect because, of course, you can't go in there with any cameras, film anything, take photos, nothing. That they won't allow you to. And you can notice that, like, in every corner, there's cameras or somebody walking around checking, make sure nobody's taking photos. This place was really interesting. They had the whole gift shop thing going on in the front where you pay to get in, and then you go behind the curtains and you see everything. Really interesting stuff, man. They had stuff about serial killers, war, prison life, people getting shanked in prison, all kinds of stuff. They even had a theater in the back that had a coffin right next to the bathroom with a little theater that was like when you go into a church and it's got the little what do they call it, steeples?
Yeah, like a steeple.
Yeah, they had a little steeple seating area so you can watch whatever documentary they had on about death, murder, whatever they're showing on the TV. Felt like really like you were in a funeral home back there in that little theater. But there was a lot of really interesting stuff in there, man. That I too much shit to say that I saw. I'd have to like sit here and reflect on it. But there was a lot of stuff. Oh. And I also got this. They had wet specimens, so I also got a frog. Yeah.
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 Froggy. Yeah, I being in there, I didn't really know what to expect. When you go in, there's like a gift shop, like you said. There's t-shirts and postcards and wet specimens and hoodies and mugs and hats and everything. And yeah, you go in to pay, and then you go through these curtains, and it's like you kind of walk in kind of like a oblong type shape cylinder where you kind of walk in, and there's stuff to the right, there's stuff to the left, and a lot of it was serial killer stuff, letters, artwork, newspaper clippings, fun stuff like that. Good old wholesome family fun. If you're in if you're in New Orleans, definitely check it out for sure. One thing I found quite cool was it had a couple of death masks, and that's like a cast they make of someone's face after they've died. 2 or 3 really stood out to me. One was they had Napoleon Bonaparte's death mask.
Yeah.
They had Abraham Lincoln, and I also noticed Robin Williams and Michael Jackson. Those were the ones that stood out to me.
I didn't even see the Robin Williams. I saw the Michael Jackson, but I didn't see the Robin Williams one.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson one had like a little like curl, like a lock of hair. I don't know if it's legit Michael Jackson hair or if it's just like wig hair, but
had a little tee-hee in it.
Yeah, a little bit of tee-hee. He had Dr. Kevorkian's death machine, I guess.
Yeah.
What you call it. That was pretty well. They were playing like documentaries on there. They had a signed Charles Manson shirt. Stuff about David Koresh and Jeffrey Dahmer. They had stuff about OJ. They had crime scene photos, prison shanks, like different examples of prison shanks that had been used and crafted, which was wild. Some of that stuff was deadly as fuck. And yeah, they had a lot of interesting stuff.
Did you see the executioner's axe right above the prison shanks?
Yeah.
Back from the 1700s, all the notches that were in the axe handle.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that one. They had,
that was gnarly, dude. That
gnarly.
thing has seen some shit, man, because all those notches is one person, and that thing was just covered in notches.
It's seen some heads, some necks.
Yeah.
Smacking neck.
But you can tell the way that it was shaped, like it was wide on the bottom, but it came like outwards like that, so that way it was, I'm assuming, just for a good clean hit for the first time, the way that they shaped it.
Yeah. It looked pretty blunt now, but it was probably sharp at one point.
Yeah, it was definitely probably sharp at one point, because if it was blunt, man, that had to have been some force behind that, or it took a couple of whacks and that person felt the first one or two.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they had a lot of stuff. It was cool. It was interesting to see. There was a lot of reading material and information. My understanding is that the one in California and LA, I think is where it is like much bigger. There's a lot more stuff in there. But this was really cool. It was definitely worth checking out. They had it was almost like an electric chair type thing that we all got a picture on as well. That we on our stories. So yeah, it was fun.
That place was a lot of fun, man. How can I say this? And not only that, but I mean, there was other. What was that one that we saw about the car that crashed into the diner up in like North Texas somewhere? It was like into a Luby's or something like that. The car crashed into it, and they actually had pieces of the debris from the actual restaurant where 2 people had gotten killed or something like that.
Yeah, there was some people in. It was like a diner in Texas. They had like a cup from it.
Right.
Yeah, there was a lot of things like that, like gravel and like stuff from crime scenes, and they had Eileen Vorno's like prison like lingerie or underwear type thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. Again, exploiting her. If you know Eileen Vornals, she was just exploited from throughout her life and then even in death. So, but yeah, there was a lot of artwork. Some really talented artwork actually. Some of the stuff there was really good. They had a letter from Son of Sam that he was replying to someone, and he like drew a diagram, and it was pretty fucked up. It was cool to see.
Yeah, and they had a bunch of like origami pieces from different killers that were in prison, stuff like that. Letters, like you said, some artwork from inside prison, even like some art on bandanas, like how they do in prison. So there was a lot of cool shit. It was a lot of stuff to see. You had to take a couple of loops around just to see everything because there was just so much stuff to see.
Definitely.
I think we were in there for what, a good 2-3 hours?
Yeah, right about there, but two and a bit hours. Then we went for a seafood boil after.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Now
awesome.
that was epic. That seafood boil was just
Yeah, it was good.
I was sucking them crab legs like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, it was good stuff. You can't go there without having a seafood boil, so we did that. There is a flesh-eating bacteria epidemic that was happening around that area as well, so we didn't eat any raw clams or oysters or anything like that. We stayed clear of all the oyster bars.
Shit, we didn't even eat any cooked ones, man. I wasn't willing to take the risk.
But yeah, I didn't want to fucking flesh-eating bacteria chewing up my ass.
Look like a zombie on the side of your face by the time we get back.
Yeah, man. I would have been a dead boy.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, with that being said, we could jump onto a question that was asked by a member of the audience.
Oh, let's hear it.
Hell yeah. So this question comes from Chris at the I Love Horror podcast. So shout out to you, my man. And he asks, "What found footage movie still haunts you?" I have an answer.
Go for it. You first. You got the answer. Go ahead.
For me, one of the main ones that still kind of haunts me and still kind of gets me is Hell House, LLC. To me, I always jump anytime those fucking clowns are around. The first one, that is. Also, as well, Host is another one that anytime I watch it, I always jump. I know what's coming, and Hell House I've seen so many times now, and I know what's coming, but I still jump. I still get freaked out, especially if I'm watching in the dark. So that for me is my haunting one. Those two.
I think the one that I still won't watch at night alone is Paranormal Activity, just because I come from more on my father's side because I grew up more with my father's side of the family. They're Catholic, so you believe in spirits and things like that. Spiritual energy around you, things like that. So you have some kind of grasp and belief in the afterlife and spirits that still come around, whether they're good or bad. So you have that fear of the unknown, and seeing that movie, how well it was done, definitely still scares me to this day. Like I said, I won't watch it at night. The first time I watched it, shit, I haven't ran since 1998, but I ran that day to the bathroom and back. So yeah, that's one that sticks out for me. And I don't know if it haunts me in the way that like Paranormal Activity haunts me, but I still go back to Megan is Missing, right? The last part of the movie, because it's so graphic and so detailed. That makes me just feel uneasy because of scenes like that. Those kind of like sexual assault scenes and stuff like that, they just make me uneasy. So it's, especially if you're watching in a room with another person or more people, that's even more uncomfortable, and it's just uncomfortable by yourself. So yeah.
Oh, I 100% think that counts. Most definitely. Megan is Missing is harrowing.
Yeah,
that's clean family fun.
Yeah.
And also as well, I think we'll take another question, and then I'm going to show off some found footage films I got.
Nice.
All right. So we've been asked by Serena Bobinas. And Serena asked, shout out Serena. She asked, "What's your most favorite found footage film of all time?"
For me, and this is one I guess I should have mentioned it in the first question. That still is one of my favorite, or is my favorite found footage movie, but also still gets me, is As Above, So Below. That one is my top favorite one. Just the whole, going underground into the catacombs, getting to these weird scenarios where you're seeing these whatever they are when you get into hell, and yeah, that movie just left quite an impression on me to sit at the tippy top of the pyramid for me of found footage. So I still visit that maybe once a month. So just as, even if it's background noise at work, I still visit that once a month at least.
Hell yeah. And you're still in the catacombs right now?
Yes, and I'm still in the catacombs. If somebody could please, come find me, bring me a sandwich, because I haven't eaten in months. I don't know why I'm still fat, but apparently, I'm eating myself here, so I need a sandwich. Send help. Maybe a bottle of water.
A bottle of water.
Bottle of water.
Oh, I knew you were going to say As Above, So Below. It's so good. I love that one as well. It's been a while since I watched it, but yeah, it's a good one. For me, more so recently, I think it's kind of creeped up to the top of the list. Phoenix Forgotten is really standing out for me. Is like a top-notch found footage film, and I think it definitely doesn't get enough credit. A lot of people have kind of said it was boring and things like that, and I just can't see it. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. It's not necessarily scary, but I think in terms of the definitions of found footage, I think it's up there.
Oh yeah.
I think, and then a close second, I think, is Paranormal Activity, I would say, or Hell House. Those are sort of joint second, I would say, for my favorite found footage movies of all time.
Nice.
They're just
Hell House is definitely up there.
Yeah,
it's definitely up there for me too. It's right up there with As Above, So Below, but that one kind of sits at the tippy top for me. But even like Jerusalem, that one sits at the top too. I really like that one.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that was one before I was even super into found footage. I saw it and knew I liked it. So
yeah, they did a really good job with that one too.
Yeah. Show the Paz brothers. They're awesome.
Show.
Yeah. Time for some show and some tell, or I guess we've been doing the tell, now we're doing the show. So Serena and I, anytime we go out, we always try and look for found footage films to add to our physical media collection. So there's a few that we got. There's a couple that she or one particular that she ordered and it got delivered, and we just ended up picking it up on the trip, and it was August Underground Mordom. So this is the sequel to August Underground, which is a cool slip cover and cover for it. Also really cool about this one is it comes with a signed poster, so it's signed by all the cast of the second one. So like Maggot and what's her name? I don't remember her name, but yeah, the cast: Fred Vogel, Maggot, and then the chick that's in the movie. So I'm really excited to see this one, which is again insane to say that you're excited to watch an August Underground film, but the first one was so good. Another one that I found that I thought was really cool that we found was one that we just talked about recently, and it is Living Among Us, and it comes with a slipcover as well. But we found this. I actually found this twice on my travels, and I actually bought it twice. The first one had like a busted slipcover, and it wasn't in great shape. And then I went to another store and found it. So yeah. So shout out to Brian Metcalf, Thomas E. Nichols, and all the cast of Living Among Us. So they were cool and liked our stuff when we were talking about it, which was awesome.
So nice, you bought it twice.
Hell yeah. And then I'll do another one. This was something that David found for me a long time ago, and he was finally about to give it to me, which was VHS Beyond with this very cool, I guess.
Is that like a reflective cover?
What was that, sorry?
It's like a reflective cover?
Yeah, it's like a
hologram.
Lenticular type.
Lenticular, cover. That's the word I'm looking for.
But no, this was a really fun one. So if you haven't seen VHS Beyond, definitely check it out. And
yeah,
a lot of fun.
Now what I have is not found footage, but John and Serena got this for me anyways. It is a DVD that's like a documentary. As much as I love aliens, it is 6 days in Roswell, if my thing will cooperate. It's not cooperating.
It's not cooperating.
There it is.
There we go.
There we go. Right there.
Hell
6 days in Roswell. I need to plug back in my my DVD player so that way I can give it a watch because I want to check it out. But I got to do some rearranging this weekend. So once I get everything rearranged, I'll bust it out and give it a watch.
Hell yeah. And yeah, we'll come back to some more found footage finds in a little bit.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And then after we did our jaunt to the Museum of Death, what else did we do, David? We had a seafood boil.
We actually hit up a couple of shops walking on the way back. We stopped like at a sock specialty store that had like just about any kind of sock theme under the moon. Yeah, so they had socks. They had socks and slippers. I don't remember if they had sweatpants or not. I feel like they had a few sweatpants in there. They had hats. But I ended up picking up a couple of things there for my girlfriend. I got her some slippers and a matching pair of socks, so that was cool. What else did we do that day?
We stopped in at some other, some voodoo shops, and we went to the Boutique de Vampire.
Oh, that's nice. I want to point this out. Keep in mind that when you go to these very large gift or souvenir shops, the smaller ones seem to be more reasonably priced, but the real big ones have insane prices on things. And I would just say tourist prices because, you're not going to find, voodoo New Orleans themed things anywhere else. So, they pretty much name their price. But I really liked how every store that we went into had a liquor license. So they had a liquor section in every single one. It didn't matter what you went into. You could have probably gone into McDonald's, and I'm sure they had a liquor section in McDonald's because, man, everybody had booze on hand, whether it was small or big bottles or even like little single shot to go bottles. Like they had it all, man.
Yeah, they did. Everyone was drinking everywhere. It was pretty quiet. We went from we went Tuesday to Monday, and then the Tuesday to like the Thursday night, Friday morning was fairly quiet, and then it was Fridays when things started to pick up. People coming in for the weekend, people coming in to party. Bourbon Street was a lot busier, so that was it was good that we went a couple of days early. We got to take in some sights and see some stuff. I really liked that Vampire Boutique. There was a lot of really cool stuff. I got some really cool pictures of it. And a lot of vampire themed things. We got like a wooden stake that had like a point at the bottom, and it was like a cross. Yeah, exactly. That's what we got.
Right there. It's a wooden stake, but it's a cross. Yeah, they were pretty cool. I like these. I'm gonna hang mine up here in the near future after I do some rearranging. But they were very cool, reasonably priced. They weren't like crazy expensive or anything. It's just a piece of wood. So I mean, it wasn't high priced. They had decent prices in there for things. The only thing that I would say that was like heavily priced, and because it was so detailed, were the shrunken heads.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were kind of worth it. Like if I was going to drop that amount of money, I was totally worth it.
I didn't really see as many shrunken heads as I thought I would see. Maybe there was a few places we didn't end up visiting that would have necessarily had them, but that was really one of the only places I saw with like that looked like they had proper shrunken heads. I didn't really see anything elsewhere. I don't know if you saw anything, David.
I feel like we went to another shop. It was I think it was the oddity shop, the dark matter one.
Oh yeah.
They had a couple of little ones, but that place was just like super high priced. They had a lot of wet specimens everywhere and really odd things, but it was just crazy priced in there, dude. It's just one of those things that, as big as they were, they're like right in the middle of Canal Street and Bourbon Street, where they kind of like where they cross, and they named their prices because they're a big store. So supply and demand.
Supply and demand, exactly. But yep, it was a fun time. It was an interesting time. We got to see some really cool stuff. We did pass through. Yep. That was next on our agenda. We ended up booking a ghost tour, which was the Yellow Fever Trail or Yellow Fever Tour, where our tour guide Byron took us through a lot of places. It was a hell of a walk. David absolutely fucking championed through it. We walked about 2 miles, 13 blocks.
Dude, that was an insane day, but I survived.
You did survive. You did. You crushed it. It was tough though. It was a tough walk, especially at night. We got to see some cool stuff. We were the only people in the tour group. Our other person didn't turn up, so we popped up there. We saw places like Marie Laveau's house. We saw Madame Lalaury's mansion. That was the last place on the tour, which was the most haunted place, where they drop us off at the end of the tour. We saw we started at the pharmacy museum, and that was the first registered pharmacy in the United States.
Right.
And that's just when they were starting to get that sort of thing in place. So it was owned by a family, and during the yellow fever epidemic or pandemic or whatever. So we learned a bit about that. Some creepy stuff, some murder, some ghosts.
It was weird how he told the story about the yellow fever, because it's like it came through the New Orleans area like on several occasions, and just like wiped out a good portion of the population there. It's kind of like COVID. It came through in waves. As far as that went, it's a pandemic. So it's crazy. It was just crazy to know that many people died there. And do you remember that one house that we stopped at where he said that they were trying to do a pool there, and they just found like a mass grave site, and that was crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. They had they tried to do like an in-ground pool. That's what it was, and they like dug up an area, and it was like an ancient sort of burial ground. We saw some places we couldn't, like all the places that we went to, we couldn't get into because they just don't allow that for tours. But we got to see a lot of places, a lot of beautiful scenery, a lot of old buildings and things like that. So there's a lot of history there for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of history. What I noticed was the homeless, the poverty that's in the city too. During the day, you see a lot of that. If you go at night, it's covered by all the lights and artists and things that are out there. You see a lot less of that, because everybody's hidden at night. But during the day, you see a lot of it. Didn't you and Callie have an encounter the first day that we were there? or
Yeah,
sighting of homeless people.
yeah. I've never seen so many like people without with amputated limbs fighting. It was
Yes,
quite harrowing.
sepsis was a big thing there. There was a lot of warnings for sepsis over there.
Yeah, we did. We saw a lot of things about like sepsis and getting your immunizations and things like that. Um, but yeah, we saw like a guy in a wheelchair fighting security guards who were putting stuff in the trash while someone else was walking up to try and defend him. As we turned the corner, there was another guy that was out of his wheelchair on the ground, and there was another like police officer or security guard that was like standing next to him. Then we turned around, and then this security guard kicked the guy's wheelchair. So the other guy was going up and like try to fight him, threw his water bottle, almost hit the car.
Wow,
It was wild.
insane. Yeah, and that was just the first day.
Yeah, that was the
Like when we just got to the hotel, we hadn't even checked
the
in yet.
first like 45 minutes of being in the area. I was like, all right, this is how we're starting it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It was entertaining for sure. And we definitely got more to talk about. But in the meantime, how about another question?
Hell yeah. So we have another question from Serena. She asked, "Where's our next trip going to be?" We've been kind of talking about this recently. We're going to be talking about a trip to Michigan in the start of next year. So that's maybe our next trip together.
Yeah, I think that'll be what is it? A little bit into the new year, like around March.
Yeah, and I think that's one we could probably do like an episode. We could probably record something there.
Because that one's more chill. We do that one every year. So, I mean, we've already seen the area and stuff like that. We do more, hanging out with each other and stuff like that. So,
yeah, it's less of a, sightseeing thing. And like, it's mainly just a friends vacation where we just all hang out and be in each other's company and, drink and smoke and hang out. So, yeah, I think it's going to be that. And then we also have a question from California_Elizabeth, which is Callie, who's our friend that we traveled with as well. So shout out Callie. She said, "What was y'all's favorite part of New Orleans? Anything super creepy stand out?" Nothing creepy stood out to me. I don't know if there was anything that you experienced, David, but
you know what was creepy to me was the breakfast buffet. Because every day was sausage. That was the only meat that was on the menu. Like they couldn't even switch it out one day with bacon. So I'm just thinking that was like the meat processed from all the dead homeless people that died from sepsis. Yeah. And we're just eating dead homeless people sausage.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, probably the creepiest part for me was when I was walking down after we went to Cafe du Monde, and a guy told I didn't really fully understand what he was saying, and I guess that's how people feel when I start talking sometimes. This guy was just rambling and was telling a joke, and I laughed, and he just immediately dropped his knees and tried to clean my shoe and sprayed this stuff on it and was trying to wipe my shoes clean, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, I don't want that. And then he got pissed off and ran away. But yeah, it was probably my creepiest moment.
Yeah, so if you ever watch TikTok videos about the do's and don'ts of New Orleans before you go, if anybody ever goes, people will talk about the pickpocketers and the people that will try and clean your shoes and stuff like that. And I really didn't expect it to happen because you really didn't notice things like that. But when we got into the area where Cafe du Monde is, because there's an outdoor, it's a European market, I think it is, and there seems to be a lot of activity in that little area. So it seems like that's where a lot of the locals go there too and stuff like that. And it just seems to be a lot more, what's the word that I'm looking for? I'm just going to say it. It's more ghetto there. And, you run into people like that where the guy's trying to spray shit on your shoes and try and get money out of you and things like that. So I would definitely, if anybody ever went to New Orleans, be just cautious of that. Also be cautious of where you put your cash, your cards and stuff like that. I had to be very cautious of that. I didn't carry them in the usual places that I carry them because, people are always so close to you when they're walking by. Anything can happen. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun though. I mean, despite the shoe thing, the Cafe Du Monde was really good. The coffee stuff that y'all had tried, y'all said it was really good. I had a soda, but the beignets were good. Serena was saying that they tasted like funnel cakes, and they really do. They taste like a fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside funnel cake pastry with shitloads of powder on it. I swear, like we all walked out of there covered in powder on our pants and stuff. It was like a cocaine party, but it was powdered sugar.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it was good. What else we do? We went to we did a airboat, like a boat tour, airboat adventures.
That was fun.
That was fun. We were stressing though. We got there like really late. We ended up, we just left late, really.
We just left late
and had to, rush to get there. Thankfully, we made it in time. That was another sort of getaway area. We got there. We had to pay again, or we had to finish paying for our thing. So like you pay a deposit, and then you get there and you pay the rest of it. They didn't let you do split. You had to pay it all at once.
Yeah,
which was annoying. And then we did the fan boat. As soon as we got on, we went to go and start the journey, and our fan boat broke down.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get that far from the dock, and that thing just crapped out. I thought he was playing a trick.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought he was playing a trick, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, it won't start." Right as we're next to like a burial ground,
right,
like an above ground like fucking cemetery. And then he tries it again. And he's like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good," and you never want to hear that when you're on anything that's controlled by someone else. You never want to hear, "Oh, that doesn't sound good." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I just drive these things. I don't fix them." So he like gets on the radio, "Mayday, mayday, need a rescue."
And that's what. And I thought it was all bullshit until he started yelling for the mayday, right? Because he was so vocal about what was going on. It just seemed like it was part of the boat trip, right? Like he's faking a breakdown on the boat, and then all of a sudden it kicks on. He's like, "All right, we're ready to go." And no, that didn't happen. And then came the mayday, and I was like, "Fucking hell."
Yeah, so we're sitting there for a little bit, and then finally we got as we were like getting pushed into like the bushes and like with all the bugs and stuff. It was great. But they ended up coming by with a new boat. We all jumped on that, and then we set off on our journey again. And then this time we were able to finish. We got to see some gators, some baby gators. They were feeding them marshmallows.
Yeah.
Out of all things, yeah, I guess they like it. I don't think it's that nutritious for them, but yeah, it was fun. I got a really good picture of a big ass gator that was hanging out on the ground, like area. It was like
it was just sitting like on a little hill, like a little elevated. Yeah.
And then we were just going around. Both David and I fell asleep a couple of times. We like dozed off because we had our headphones on, and then
it was very therapeutic being on the water, man, because it was just like a nice little steady ride whenever we weren't like jumping through the bushes and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, and it was the vibrations from the fan and like the cool breeze from when they were going. Like it's almost hypnotic. I dozed off a couple of times. It was pretty wild.
It was nice. It was a nice calming. It was a little bit like hectic in the beginning because when we got on the new boat, we were going through things, checking out the swamps and stuff like that. But as soon as he said, "Okay, we're going to turn around and start heading back," you knew that was kind of like the end of the trip. You've already seen everything we're going to go back through. So just started dozing off. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the ride back.
Hell yeah.
And then they had that albino alligator next to the bathrooms.
Yeah, I was fucked. That was so depressing, and I was not happy that it was there. They had like an albino alligator by itself, no vegetation, nothing. So that sucked.
Yeah, it didn't have any natural sunlight or anything like that. He was just in an enclosed area,
zoned out. Yeah, it was bad. I don't like that. None of us like that.
Nope, not at all. Poor guy. Would have taken him home with me if I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time for another movie.
Yeah, with that being said, time for some more found footage finds, I guess, is this part of the show. It's crazy because we got 9, right? So it's perfect. So I'm splitting it up into 3s, which is great. So we found this, which is Always Watching. This has a Walmart sticker on it, but we did not get it at Walmart. It's just really on there, so I haven't taken it off yet. But yeah, we looked this up, had some good reviews, so that's one to add to the list. This is like a Slender Man one, I believe.
I think that one was the prequel to Slender Man or something like that.
Oh,
I read something about it. I can't remember the exact details.
That's fun. And then we also found Hollow's Grove, which is another sort of found footage. I think it's mostly found footage. It has Lance Henriksen in it from Pumpkinhead and everything else. Just before we went on the trip, actually, Serena had saw this. She watched this and said that it's one that she wanted us to check out. So, yeah, this was a really random find. I found this in the same place I found Living Among Us, which was awesome. And then lastly, this is one that I'm actually kind of excited to watch, and it's called Auteur. I think there's a bit of a glare here, but Auteur is what the name of the movie's called. It's by Cameron Romero, which I think possibly may be a relation to George A. Romero. Maybe not though, but
Maybe not.
It's a found footage film. It didn't get very good reviews from places that I looked it up, but it's got Tom Sizemore, who plays himself in it, and Tom Sizemore's an actor who's in like Natural Born Killers and stuff like that. So yeah, I saw that and I was quite excited. It's written by James Cullen Bresic. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he also did Hate Crime, and he also did a movie that I watched while I was flying to New Orleans. It's called To Jennifer. I started watching it before and then I finished it on the plane. It was actually really quite good. So I think I'm definitely a James Cullen Bresic fan for sure now.
Yeah.
Just when I saw he was associated with it, then I picked it up specifically for that reason. So
I saw Hate Crime. That was a gnarly one.
yeah, it's on my list. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, To Jennifer was pretty good. It's an older one, and I really enjoyed it. It's one that I put on my Letterboxd. So if you want to check out some of my reviews for things, I watch a good amount of found footage on there as well, but just movies in general. Horror Fiend Review RVW is my Letterboxd. So what did I give it on there? I think I gave it 3 stars. 3 stars, yeah. It was really good. It was a good one. Definitely worth a watch. Maybe we'll talk about it another day. Another movie I watched on the plane was called Name the Demon. I was able to get found on the plane with a free Wi-Fi, so I checked that out. It was on my list from it being on Tubi, and yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really creepy exorcism found footage film that I'd recommend for sure.
Right on.
Yeah,
I still need to watch that one. It's on my list to watch.
Yeah, there's some moments. There's a moment where the priest tries to kiss the guy.
Oh my god!
Like, what the fuck?
It's like every movie 2 all over again, where he's all.
That was not on my bingo card for watching for sure.
My bingo card.
Another one that when we were there, we watched a couple of films together, and one of the ones that we watched was the Strange Frequencies Taiwan Killer Hospital.
Okay.
And David, you were there for that one.
Yep.
And it was a subpar ripoff of, or reimagining. Let's not say ripoff. A reimagining ripoff of of Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. It's like a
Yes.
Taiwanese or Filipino Gonjiam.
Filipino. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Filipino.
Yeah. And it just was so lackluster, in my opinion. Subpar. Really thin plot. I didn't like any of the characters. In Gonjiam, I felt like they sort of built the characters up a bit more. All of these were like celebrities or like influencers or actors that were in the Philippines that were coming together to do this like one-off stream or show for them, like doing this hospital thing. It was just, yeah, it was just thin, man. The only positive I can give to this is that it's on Netflix, and the more people that watch it, the more people are gonna, find out about Gonjiam and other found footage. So that's always a good thing. Other than that, there was some creepy moments, but it was bad CGI, bad story, bad plot, bad acting, bad people, bad characters, bad everything else. So
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy.
But yeah,
the pen definitely helped us push through it, though.
Most definitely, yeah, it did. The Benjamin Griffin helped us.
Shelton Benjamin.
The Shelton Benjamin. But on that note, we have a couple more questions from some folks. If you want to dive into a couple more. One, I think, is very much geared towards you, and I really think that we'll do that one next.
Okay.
So this is from Decaying Sunshine. So shout out to Serena, Decaying Sunshine. She's asked, what's your favorite scene from As Above, So Below?
So my favorite scene is when they start getting past the tunnel where it says, abandon all hope, all ye who enter. They cross over, things change, and the first thing that happens is you start hearing a phone ring, and nobody's been down in those tunnels for God knows how long, and all of a sudden there's this phone that's ringing, and they go down there, and the girl answers it, and she can hear her father on the other side of the phone, trying to say something, but she recognizes the voice, and that was creepy to me. Also, when they're still going through the tunnel, they find a piano, and he goes, "Oh, hey, we had a piano like this growing up, And he goes, but the B flat or something like that was broken. So he was doing the thing that he would do, and then as soon as he hit the key, it was broken. And they started like realizing like we're not in Kansas anymore, basically. So that whole part of the movie right there, where they start getting down the tunnel and going further down deeper, and then finding those monks that had the weird porcelain faces that were sitting, and then it got up and it disappeared. All that shit was creepy to me, dude. That whole first little thing, that's what hooked me for this movie, to have me truly appreciate it from start to finish.
Hell yeah. It has been some time since I've seen it. There's not a specific scene that stands out. I do remember certain points. When they're starting to, get deeper into the catacombs and into the search for the Philosopher's Stone, it's when things start to go crazy once they've jumped through like the dirty water, and they things start to get inverted, and like things that should be upside down or straight up and all that sort of thing. Like that always creeped me out with the water, like diving into murky, disgusting, like stagnant water always freaks me the fuck out. So that always creeped me out from that movie.
Yeah, and it was just crazy how they started experiencing things that have like bad things they had done in their life, like the guy that was leading them, the main guy that they had found at the nightclub. He encountered the burning car where his friend had died inside, that he escaped, and it basically sucked him in, and then sucked him into the ground. Just his legs were sticking up out of the ground after it was all said and done. Like that part was done so well, dude. Like that shit was intense.
Absolutely. Another question we got was from someone that you might find familiar, David. Stephanie Zombie 28.
Oh, okay. I
And
know her very well.
she asked, "What was your favorite part of your trip?"
What was my favorite part of the trip? We went to a lot of places. We saw the Museum of Death. We went on the ghost tour. We went to the Absinthe Bar, what we haven't talked about yet. The above ground cemeteries that we also haven't talked about yet. But I think my most favorite part, and I think you'll agree with this, is just seeing all of y'all, man. We don't get to see each other in person. I mean, y'all get to see Callie because she's up there in the north like you are, a few times a year. But I only see y'all once, or if I'm lucky, twice a year. So I mean, that was the best part of the trip, spending time with y'all.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can concur with that one. I think that was my favorite part as well. Just hanging out, being around David and his quirks.
Yeah.
And just enjoying the time, man. That was also my favorite part. I definitely also really enjoyed I liked the Museum of Death. I really did like that. The fan boat tour was cool, but the Museum of Death for me was definitely a cool part. And the Pharmacy Museum, actually, we haven't really gone into that too much, but the Pharmacy Museum was really cool for me as well.
Nice. We went to the old Absinthe Bar while we were there, and that was an experience. Never had absinthe before. They had it in mixed drinks, or you could drink it like that with was it some soda or something like that that Serena had gotten with whatever mixed up. They even lit the sugar cube on fire for her drink and stuff like that. They went the whole nine for it. But it's definitely got like a numbing sensation depending on how strong of a drink that you get with it in it. You can definitely feel the numbness in your mouth a little bit from it. What I didn't enjoy afterwards is that it makes your body hot from the inside out. So like you're sweating, but it's not because it's hot outside and you're walking around. It's sweating because heat is emitting from inside your body outward. That was not comfortable for me, so I didn't enjoy that part. But the experience was cool. I mean, just to say that I went and tried absinthe,
Yeah, place was an absolute fucking dive, though.
Yes, it was.
Was not like it was not like an ancient or like an old absinthe house. It was like fucking business cards and flyers like stapled to the walls. Like the pipes were showing, and like it was pretty divey, to be fair. Yeah, the absinthe was alright. I'm not a huge absinthe fan. I had it only once before in Scotland. A bar in Scotland had it, and we all decided to have a shot of it. It was unpleasant then. The drink that we had, we both got the same thing. It was kind of like a cocktail type thing. We did that. That was cool. Serena and Callie, they did not enjoy their absinthe as much as we did. We kind of, although to be fair, like David crushed his drink the quickest. This guy drinks a whole bottle of Gatorade in like 3 seconds flat, and I've never seen anyone do that.
I can't help it, man. I don't know what it is. I'm a chugger of things. That's why I don't drink alcohol that often, because I'll just fucking chug it. I can't sit there and just casually just drink. Like I chug everything. It doesn't matter if it's water, soda, whatever the case may be. That's why there's so many frequent visits to the restroom, because I just have fluid running through me 24/7.
Pretty much, yeah. But that was it was fun. It was an experience. We also went to the above ground cemeteries. We went to a couple, actually. We went to one that was actually closed. Like we got there and it was supposed to be closed, but one set of gates were open that we drove through, and we ended up going to visit the resting place of Anne Rice, the famous vampire novelist, who she has her final resting place in this specific cemetery. So we saw her mausoleum, went around, took a bunch of pictures of some creepy above ground graves. Apparently the reason for that is just like a cultural thing, and like the way that people would bury, especially with family plots, like rather than just digging them on top of each other. They would like, once their remains had like dried up and dusted out, they just would kind of push them, and they would fall down this little trap to go with the rest of the family. And then the next person would go on top, and then the same thing would happen. They would just sort of push them out the way, and then they would go down. So that was easiest. And then obviously with the hurricanes and stuff, like there was some unfortunate moments where those graves and crypts and all that were broken open because of the flooding, and some bodies were, floating about for sure. Hurricane Ida, I think, was one of them that really impacted that. So
yeah, Ida and Harvey.
And Katrina.
Oh, Katrina. There you go. Not Harvey. Well, maybe Harvey, but Katrina.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah,
there's so many hurricane names every year. I can't remember them all.
Yeah, there's a lot of names, man.
But yeah, that was fun. The trip to the old cemeteries. I think we went to the Metairie one, and we went to Greenville, were the two cemeteries we went to.
Hell yeah, that's the one.
And then, aside from that, other shops that we visited, like the Oddity Shop, a lot of our time outside of that was just hanging out, watching movies, going to places to eat. We had some, John and Serena had some gumbo and jambalaya, stuff like that. We had the seafood boil, of course. We also tried the po' boys from that one place that had the magical cheesecake.
Oh yeah,
and that was we never got back to the cheesecake, but I mean, it was an experience. We even came back the next day or 2 days later, and we tried the barbecue place that was closed when we went there. That was pretty good. The mac and cheese and stuff like that, everything was good. Only thing I didn't like about the barbecue was that it was a very smoky barbecue, so it carried throughout the day into the evening, where you were still kind of like burping it up. So that part I wasn't a fan of, but at the time it was good. It was very good.
Yeah, we also went on a trip to go see Toxic Avenger together.
Oh yeah, we did see Toxic.
That was fun.
Found out Elijah Wood is in that movie.
Hell yeah, we went to this like podunk fucking. It was supposedly a Regal, but it wasn't branded as a Regal unless you went inside or like got up close to it. It was next to this like abandoned mall.
Dude, I shit you not. Aside from the 4 or 5 employees that were at the entrance when we came in, and the 5 or 6 people, no, collectively there was 5 or 6 of us in the showing, right? I think we were the only people in this theater, because I never saw anybody come in for any other movies, come out from any other movies while we were out, anything like that. Like, this place was straight up abandoned. It was in Kenner, Louisiana, and it was butted up right next to an abandoned mall, right?
That's right, yeah. It was abandoned.
Wow, that's crazy. That'd probably be the creepiest thing, because I mean, what if nobody was there anymore when we came out? Everybody was just gone.
Yeah, it was.
All the doors were locked, and
well, then we'd be stuck in there, stuck in the nostalgic, movie theater. But yeah, it was cool. It was a fun experience. It's always nice to go to these random movie theaters. Well, so we also watched some films together. We watched Dangerous Animals. It was good until a point.
It was good until a point. We even watched or attempted to watch St. Francisville Experiment. I fell asleep pretty early in that movie.
Yeah, David passed out, and then and as I watched it, the more and more I realized I'd actually seen it. I was going through. We were trying to find some New Orleans or Louisiana based found footage. This one really stood out, and yeah, we tried watching it, and I remembered that it wasn't great, and David had fell asleep like right at the start, so we just kind of gave up, and then I think we watched something else or whatever. But yeah, but it was fun just to be around each other and just hanging out.
Yeah.
So
we even revisited Ready to Rumble. That was nice.
Yeah, we did. We watched that. We watched 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Some fun comedy films.
Some classic comedies.
Yeah, watched some wrestling. That was always fun.
Yep.
And then, speaking of films, we have another question. This is from This is from our good friend Zach. Zikang is the handle on Instagram. This is Zach from the creator of Jim's Room, our buddy Zach. Shout out. And he asked, if you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think for me, I would. You mentioned Ready to Rumble. Genuinely, if I had to pick any film, I think I would pick that. Genuinely,
That's fair.
because I can quote that movie anyway. Like, so.
I think in situations like this, when you pick a movie that you have to watch for the rest of your life, it's got to be comedy, right? Because it's got to make you laugh, all the jokes and things like that. For me, definitely would be Pineapple Express.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. I would have killed myself by the fourth showing.
Oh yeah, no, Ready to Rumble for me. Pineapple Express for David. I agree with that. I think if you're going to watch a movie for the rest of your life, I think you have to go with some form of comedy. So
yeah, definitely, or like an Adam Sandler movie or something like that.
Hell yeah. Another question we have here is from BDEX91, which is Brittany, which is Serena's sister. So shout out Brittany. She asked if we're going to go and see Him, the movie Him, that comes out this weekend.
Oh, so I will not see it this weekend. I will see it next weekend. But yes, it is on the list to watch.
Hell yeah. I definitely want to see it. It looks badass. I am so excited for it, genuinely.
Who was it? Was it Jordan Peele that made this movie?
Jordan Peele produced it. It's Jordan Peele production. It's got Marlon Wayans and the guy that was in the reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it looks like it's going to be wild. I'm so excited for it.
It's like it reminds me of the trailer, kind of like the way that they advertised that movie with Channing Tatum, where they were on the island and they were giving the people that drug. Like it's not the same type of movie, but I feel like it was like advertised or sold the same way in the trailer, like the same style.
Blink Twice.
Yeah, like Blink Twice. There you go.
That was a fucked up film. I loved it. It was so good, but yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up movie. And then so that's kind of what it reminded me of when I saw it, because like the same style of trailer, kind of like it grips you with these intense scenes.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to check it out. So thank you for that. All right. Let's find some other questions. This was one. Yeah, sorry.
Before we jump into that question, I'm going to share another UFO documentary that y'all were kind enough to gift me here. So this one is the UFO Hypothesis. Wait, right there. Yeah. And this one is a 2 VHS set. So I got my VCR handy. So this one I will definitely watch. So this one is just what the vast majority of UFO sightings have natural causes. Just basic, how people have encountered UFOs and, things that have happened to them in the process. So that's going to be an interesting documentary to watch. And since it's like 5 hours, 2 VHS tapes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. That's going to be awesome. Let me know how it goes for sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious on it.
It's going to take me a few days to watch because I'm not going to lie, documentaries will put me to sleep. So I have to watch them on days that I know that I'm up and active. So that way I can be engaged, because I can disengage really quickly with documentaries and just pass out.
Hell yeah. But yeah, let me know how it goes. Actually, what I'll do before we get into questions, we'll take a break from those. The last 3 found footage films that we found while we were away. One that I found, it's I think it's going to be Screen Life, but it's called Nightmare Code. And yeah, there we go. It looks like a Screen Life, but it's basically like a programmer who's brought in a tech startup, and the previous lead programmer went on a murder-suicide rampage. So Yeah, I have a feeling that he's going to end up in the same thing, but it's kind of like a surveillance, artificial intelligence type movie. So I was definitely excited to check that out. Another one we found, which is it's well, maybe it's not South African. I think it's American, but it's based in South Africa, and it's called 419. It's the name. It has a sticker on here, but it's 419, and it's about a New York actor who loses everything in a financial scam by South African scammers. So his two best friends take him to Cape Town to try and track him down, and with the help of one of the locals. So I think this is going to be an interesting one to check out as well. And it says 419. The email is only the beginning.
Interesting.
And then lastly, we have, and I'd heard of this before, I just hadn't seen it, and it's called Dark Mountain. So this is the DVD of Dark Mountain. Somewhere deep in Arizona's Superstition Mountain lies the most famous lost gold mine in the world, the Lost Dutchman Mine. So it's someone going on the look for that. So, yeah. And if there's anyone that's seen any of these movies that has been brought to your attention today, definitely let us know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah,
Absolutely.
but that's all our found footage physical media for you today. Let's go back to some questions.
Question me.
Hell yeah. This one I was actually quite excited, and when you hear what the question is, you'll be like, "Why the fuck are you excited about that?" But it's probably because I could talk about it for forever. And I'm going to apply this to found footage specifically. But the question is from Slugs on My Nugs. So shout out. What are some pet peeves you have when watching stuff? So my pet peeves, specifically as it relates to found footage, there's quite a few. And this is from the film perspective, not like, if someone's, hanging out and like, talking over a movie or whatever, like that is what it is. When it comes to found footage, some really glaring things really piss me off. And one of them is the overlay of the recording function when you're watching said found footage. You're not watching a camera footage of a camera, so there's really not much of a need to have that overlay on there. I guess if you give it more about, this is found footage, like, nah, well, you've overlaid it, so
it's not.
not really. Another thing for me is like excessive, like shaky cameras. I think to the point where you can't make anything discernible out, or very low light situations for the majority of a film. Like, okay, I'm just gonna name it. The Outwaters for me, like, is a prime example of that, where it's like a circle that's just sort of moving about, and like it's all dark around it, but like you see sort of parts of it, and like lights, and like hearing people like screaming and stuff like that. You can't really see anything, so like, and there's not enough information for me to fill in my brain to be like, to scare myself. So then I'm left just like,
what the hell,
disoriented and like feeling sick, motion sick, because I'm seeing all this shit happening. So that to me is a pet peeve. And another one is like, not, if you're gonna have like a cohesive like found footage film, like if you take a split second to just explain something. For example, if you're watching something that's a collection of different footage all together in one, that's got like some music or like whatever, all you have to do is put like a sentence at the start and saying like, this has been put together for continuity purposes or something like that. it's been cut, but like none of the footage has been altered. It's been put together for continuity or whatever.
Just call it B-roll.
Right, a lot don't typically do that, so you're just kind of like you're out of it, your mind's out of it, especially when you start hearing music and things like that. That's when you're kind of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Unless they've got like, someone else is playing some atmospheric fucking music on their phone while they're roaming around some abandoned church or abandoned fucking sanitarium, then yeah, there's no need to have music. Or if you're going to have music, just justify it, right? It takes 2 seconds. Like that care and attention to detail to me stands out. So
you have a lot of peeves.
oh man, I'm not even like I'm going to cut it short for the purposes of the episode. There's a lot that I have a peeve about, but
I think when it comes to watching movies, I have three peeves that stick out the most. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of mini ones here and there, but the biggest one is when you've just got, so if it's a movie I've never seen before, like when we just got people asking me questions during the movie, like, why did that happen? It's like, I'm here just like you are watching it for the first time. Watch it. Let's watch it through. Then we'll do the Q&A after and compare notes. I think the second one is subtitles. Sometimes, depending on the movie, when there's too much going on in the movie, subtitles and trying to pay attention what's going on and trying to read at the same time just like annoys the shit out of me. I can't, no, I can't do it. And then I have this one friend, she's one of my best friends. I love her to death, but I, for the life of me, do not enjoy watching movies with her. So she has this habit of trying to guess or hitting the nail on the head of what's going to happen in this movie when the credits are rolling, like the intro credits, like not the end credits, but like the intro to the movie as it's just starting. And she's like, oh, I bet this is going to happen. And this is the killer and this and that. And it turns out to be that. And it's like, you just fucked up the whole movie for me in the first like 5 minutes. So those are my big three, I think.
yeah.
I also, if you don't show up with snacks, that's a problem.
Yeah, talking, like try to figure out like what's going on while you're also trying to invest in the story and whatever's going on as well. Yeah, that takes you out of it. If someone guesses it, like I think this is going to happen based on their intuition. Some people just have really good intuition when it comes to it. Like it's not necessarily a pet peeve for me, but yeah, I can see that for sure. Most definitely, especially if you're like, oh, I think this is going to happen. But I mean, realistically, if you're getting to the credits and you're in there, and it's just sometimes it's just a lucky guess, right?
Yeah.
Especially when there's
sometimes it is a lucky guess, but yeah, that still either way, just hold your comments to the end.
Another question we have from Decaying Corpses, which is also Serena. She asks, what's your favorite found footage movie and why? David, you can tell everyone why you love As Above, So Below.
I love it just simply for what it is. It's a story about going on an adventure or a quest to look for something. Think of it as like Indiana Jones or something like that, but with horror, crazy shit going on, things like that. It's just a wild ride, nonstop. I mean, it's a little slow in the beginning because you have to tell the story to get there, but even at that, it's interesting because there's history involved, and you're looking for some kind of like magical stone that's buried somewhere, and you're on this quest, you're following clues and things like that. So I kind of think that's why I like that movie so much. It's a quest to find something, but the horror that unfolds when you're trying to find it, you found it, and afterwards is what really made the movie for me. So I think that's why I love it so much.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier as well, like Phoenix Forgotten, genuinely, like after seeing it for the first time, and really just after watching it again and analyzing it, to me stands out as just like up there is like the pinnacle of found footage. Like it may not be at the top of many people's list, and a lot of people would say things like Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity, and those are fantastic examples, and Hell House as well is another great example. Those are definitely up there for me in my top 5, absolutely. But I think the more and more I've watched it, and the more and more I've analysed it, Things Forgotten for me is just so well done. The juxtaposition of it being based in reality from the Phoenix Lights phenomenon to it being a story about, a sister looking for what happened to her brother after all these years, the turmoil that it's did to their family, like seeing that, and then when she finally gets those answers, like the way that it cuts, like it's demoralizing when she finally finds the footage of what happened to her brother. Like they hit play, and then it's her just like sitting on the side of the street, just like with her head in her hands, just like not knowing what to do because she's just witnessed all of this, knowing what happened to her brother. So to me, like that, things like that really stand out. The amount of attention to detail that was really done, like just everything about it, loved it. So
yeah, and I find that as we watched that movie a couple of times. Every time I watched it, I found something a little bit different, or something that I didn't see before. So I like movies like that, like Hell House. Still to this day, when I watch it, there's something that I catch that I didn't catch in a previous view.
Definitely, and I love that. I love that when it happens in a film. You could watch it fucking every day for the rest of your life and find a new experience every time. Like that's great. I love that. So for me, that's probably my favorite now that I've seen it so many times. And then we have 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap things up. This one's quite interesting. I was excited to hear your thoughts on this, and I know my answer because I saw it ahead of time. But this is from Natalie Camila01. So shout out Natalie, thank you for your question. Which group of people in a found footage film would you most want to be friends with and hang out with?
Interesting.
Good question, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
For me, I think I really liked the gang in Jerusalem. They looked like they were a lot of fun. It was probably a cool, party that was happening there. So I think that. Also the Hell House group. I think I would love to hang out with them, be at a haunt, I just wouldn't want to be stabbed in the back by Alex, the fucking dick.
Yeah. If I had to say, I would say either the cast of Hell House, because like you said, it was super fun. They had a bunch of fun on that thing. There was a lot of quarreling going on at some points, but I mean that's what friends do. They bicker, argue, stuff like that. The other one would be, and I can't remember his actor name, but the kid from Stranger Things that came out in Spree.
Oh yeah, Joe Keery.
Yeah, I would have definitely loved to take that car ride with him, man.
Yeah, or even
I would
hang
love
out
to have been
with
the cameraman. Yeah, like even like I the whole adventure from start to finish, I would have loved to have sat in the passenger seat, held one of the cameras to get some action, just to see all this shit unfold, the crazy car rides, the people, everything. That would have been a day right there.
Hell yeah, Kurtzwald 96.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, that's cool.
I just definitely wouldn't want to be in the car when the Asian girl came out of a dead sleep with a gun in her hand, because that. Yeah, I would have been in the back seat for that one.
Also as well, the guys from Milk and Cereal. I think although we know one of them, Milk turns out to be a homicidal maniac, but that looked like a fun ass party, especially towards the end. So I think that's one I would like to hang out with them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That would have been a good one.
Awesome. And then, last but not least, we have a question from our good friend Victoria Becken. Shout out Victoria, she's our Lake House buddy. She's asked, "What's a movie that caught you by surprise, where you thought it would suck, but it didn't?"
Frogman.
That's a great one. Hell
Frogman.
yeah!
I thought it was going to be a shit fucking movie, and wow, the shit that unfolded in that movie, just wow. I was pleasantly surprised with that movie. When you said that, Frogman was the first one that popped in my head when you started asking that question. Yeah, Frogman.
That's so good. Yeah, that's such a.
Till this day, I want a replica of Frogman's wand.
Yeah, man. No, that's such a good one. That's so good. What? Honestly, for me, not necessarily that I thought it would suck, but I thought I'd have to scramble to turn it off because I'd be so grotesquely fucking disgusted by it. But it was August Underground. I expected it to be so much more disgusting and gory and stuff like that. And I mean, there's still time with the other two, which will probably be the case. They're probably going to be a lot more intense. But for me, I didn't expect to enjoy it so much to the point where I had such fond memories of watching it. That to me was quite insane. The fact that I loved it as much as I did. So that was definitely one.
Human Hibachi was another one because I just expected to be people getting eaten and things like that. I didn't expect a full on proper spread with a head in the centerpiece with a dick hanging out of his mouth. These guys asking if they wanted the red or the yellow, things like that. So that one was beyond my expectations.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was funny as well. That was good, man. Shout out Mario for Human Hibachi. I can't wait for the third one. I can't wait to see where it goes. But yeah, it's a good one. Honestly, I didn't expect to like Living Among Us as much as I did.
Oh man, that's such a good one.
That was
I don't know why, but it was so good, man. It was so well done.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Frogman for sure. I didn't really have high hopes for Frogman, but yeah, it was awesome. It was so fun. It was really well done. We had the guys that made we had Steven Nelson on, who made Old Wounds, and that's the same camera and the same actress from Frogman. So that was a cool little moment. Anthony Cousins fucking nailed it, and I can't wait to see Frogman Returns.
Yeah, when they announced that, I was like, yeah, count me in, put me down for 1 or 2.
Hell yeah. The Frogman battle commences.
Yeah, Frogman. Yeah. This time he comes out with 2 wands.
Yeah, a new improved wand, bigger, thicker wand.
Bigger, thicker one.
But
Double
yeah,
the fun, twice the thickness.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I mean that's it. That's our trip in a nutshell. I don't think there's anything that we really missed going over.
No, nothing that stands out aside from food adventures and stuff like that. But
yeah, we hit up some Targets and a Spirit Halloween, and
yeah, we did some thrifting and some some Targets, like you said, and Spirit Halloweens. I went to a couple of them.
Hell yeah.
What I did notice though is that so Spirit Halloween, for example, it doesn't seem to be as here in San Antonio. You go to the Spirit Halloweens, you got to go the first week. If not, they're sold out by the following weekend, and you're just waiting for stock to come back in. Everything was so well stocked in these stores because there wasn't very much traffic through them, so they had a lot of stuff in these Spirit Halloweens. That was cool to see.
Yeah, I think I'm over Spirit Halloween. I have been I think it's cool to experience, and you do find some cool stuff. I think last year I definitely found a bunch of cool stuff, but yeah, it's kind of samey, and
they recycle a lot of the same stuff every year.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. I think if you're looking for things like decor and collectible items, I think they're definitely there, and they do make an effort of doing that. But most of it feels kind of recycled from the year prior. The costumes usually aren't that great. They usually have a lot of masks, and there's a lot of Art the Clown stuff, and Terrifier is a huge thing. But that was yeah, it was fun. It was really fun just hanging out, and David's final gift from us was this rubber middle finger.
This rubber middle finger that I've been sticking to my forehead and just there we go, back in business. But before we do go, I do have one last DVD that y'all got me. It's another documentary of aliens. It's UFOs and aliens made by the History Channel. So this one I will enjoy, because anything that the History Channel puts out, I do consume.
Yeah, it's got five DVDs and 6 hours of footage.
Yeah, definitely going to be entertained.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I think with that, thank you for sticking around if you've got to this point. This was a laid back episode. We kind of came back from our trip. Had a couple of extra days where I was back in Virginia for a little bit, and then drove home, went straight back to work. David went straight back to work when he got home, and yeah, we've been checking out some found footage films. Another one I saw on the way home was Savage Land.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one. That surpassed my expectations as well. I watched that on the plane ride home. So that was one. But yeah, we're going to be getting back into the swing of things. We're going to get some tape talks. We're getting some really cool ones lined up for tape talks that I'm really excited about. So definitely stick around for announcements for that. And then we'll get into our regularly scheduled programming of reviewing found footage films and talking shit. So if there's ever any questions anyone ever has that you want to just shoot and fire away, then reach out to us on Instagram. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already done so. Check us out on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. All We Found a Tape.
And don't forget, people, be kind and rewind. We'll catch you in the next one.